Welcome to Proven and Probable, where we deliver mining insights and bullion sales in the form of physical delivery, offshore depositories, and private blockchain distributed ledger technology.
Welcome to Proven and Probable. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. Joining us for a conversation is Gregory Beischer, the President, Director, and CEO of Millrock Resources, along with Senior Project Geologist Chris Van Treek. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, Maurice.
Good morning, Maurice.
We have some exciting news to discuss today. Mr. Beischer, before we begin, please introduce us to Millrock Resources and share the investment opportunity that you present to the market.
Certainly, Maurice, as you well know, as a shareholder of our company, Millrock is a project generator company. We stick rigorously to this model whereby we acquire mineral rights over favorable ground using our own information to develop mineral prospects. And we move those forward to a drill-ready stage. But very typically, before we're ready to drill and hopefully make that big discovery, we bring in partner companies. That way, we're a much more sustainable, longer-lasting company that has, in the end, a better chance of success because we're drilling or exploring on 3 or 4 or 5 properties at one time. So we've really stuck with this model, and that's part of the reason we're still here today, 13 years later after the starting the company, and I think on the verge of making one of those big discoveries.
Gentlemen, in our last interview, we focused our attention on the Goodpaster district in Alaska. Chris, you're the senior project geologist there. Where is the Goodpaster district, and why is Millrock Resources focusing their efforts there?
The Goodpaster district is located in eastern interior Alaska in the Yukon-Tanana Highlands in a section of the crust that's been dubbed the Tintina Gold Province because of the prolific amount of gold deposits within it between Alaska and Yukon. The Goodpaster is located about 40 to 50 kilometers from the town of Delta Junction along the Richardson and Alaska highways. So it's well positioned. It's got good infrastructure and very nearby to Fairbanks, which has daily jet service from the lower 48 and the rest of the world. Some of the other deposits in the area include Fort Knox gold deposit at 13 million ounces near Fairbanks, and the white gold and coffee districts in Yukon, and then of course Pogo located in the Goodpaster district at 8 million ounces now, 4 million produced and 4 million in reserve and resource.
Mr. Beischer, before we delve into today's interview, management has been working hard behind the scenes to procure capital. Millrock was able to secure financing through EMX royalty. Please provide us with the details of this transaction.
Well, sure, Maurice. We were happy to do this transaction with EMX, a great group of geologists and business people. They have invested in Millrock, invested $1 million Canadian in our company by buying shares at a substantial premium to our market trading price at the time, paying almost 100% premium on our shares, which in turn we agreed to use at least half the funds to acquire this great land package that we've done in the Goodpaster district near Pogo Mine. And on top of that, then we used the additional funds to put into the ground and to use for general corporate purposes. And in return for paying this premium, we are granting EMX some royalties on the claims that we've staked. And they're not a big royalty, so it's not something that's really going to encumber the property. But that was EMX's goal, was to create a new royalty for themselves. And so it's been a win-win transaction for us both.
Gregory, what does that tell the market when prudent capital like EMX Royalty is willing to pay a significant premium to participate in the Goodpaster district with Millrock Resources?
Yeah, I think EMX is well known in the mineral exploration community. And by them investing in Millrock, it was a great endorsement of the project that we've been able to put forward. And so they recognize the mineral potential and recognize that we may very well discover gold deposits here in the Goodpaster. So we're pleased that they were willing to invest in our company, but not just invest, but invest at a premium, paying extra for every share.
Chris, take us to the Goodpaster district where Millrock has just announced claim staking. Where are you staking and why?
Well, Maurice, the crown jewel of the Goodpaster district would be the Pogo gold mine. It's been operating for 12 years and produced 4 million ounces. And there's only been one big push of exploration in the district following up on the discovery of Pogo, which took place in the late 90s and early 2000s. Millrock purchased a large database from past explorers in the area, and leveraging that, we identified quite a few highly prospective areas surrounding the Pogo mine, as well as in another mineral belt along the Shaw Creek Fault. So these newly staked areas really pull together portions of the exploration model being applied at Pogo, and we feel they're highly prospective to bring in multiple partners to really explore this district systematically over a number of years and discover multiple possible new mines along the Pogo trend. It's got great infrastructure. The Pogo Mine Road runs right through a lot of our claims, and it's got a lot of open land to further expand on our exploration efforts.
Chris, how much of a land position does Millrock Resources now have in the Goodpaster district?
The total land position now is up to 66,000 hectares of Alaska state claims, 1,176 claims in 3 blocks. The majority of the claims are surrounding the Pogo mine and along the Shaw Creek trend, but we also have 2 ancillary claim blocks that are the subject to the most recent press release, the North Pogo and Divide claim blocks.
Mr. Beischer, Chris referenced the North Pogo claim block. Why did Millrock Resources stake this area?
Well, interesting, Maurice. Let me explain. First, what you're looking at on this slide, you can see our claim blocks outlined in blue. The bright yellow-red colors that you see are sample sites where we know there's gold at surface. So you can see there's some real bright spots. And right now, the cursor is outlining the Goodpaster batholith. That light pink shade represents an intrusive magmatic rock that is thought to have brought gold into the surrounding rocks and caused the gold mineralization at the Pogo mine and a series of other deposits along the southern margin of that granitic magmatic intrusion. And you know, it seems like no one thought, well, let's look on the other side of the batholith, on the north side, where the same host rocks exist, the same flat-lying structures exist. The ground looks to be well prepared to receive gold mineralizing fluids there. But that's Alaska, you know, and that's what I love so much about this state. There is such a low degree of prior exploration, where a very simplistic idea like this might result in the discovery of a whole new deposit or gold mine. So we were happy to pick up this block of claims that Chris identified as being prospective, and we look forward to getting out on that land for the first pass geochemical work.
Now, gentlemen, I also noticed in the press release there was discussion about divide claims. What can you share with us?
Those are the ones in the very easternmost part of our area, the Goodpaster district. And you'll see some bright orange and red spots on our block of blue claims there. We had known about these spots from the database of information that we had purchased about 5 years ago. And so we see competition heating up in this district. Our neighbors here are Tectonic Minerals. This is a new company, Vancouver-based private company that's announced they're about to go public, and the executive team is the same team that formerly ran the company called Kaminak, which made great gold discoveries just across the border in the Yukon Territory, recently bought out by Goldcorp. So this team has recognized that the Goodpaster and eastern Alaska generally is a great place to explore. There's super mineral potential and there's a lot less competition. But they're here, and we're glad to see them there. But that's why we staked up these claims. We knew about these good surface indications of gold immediately adjacent to their property. So we thought, well, we better cover that. And so that's why we staked that divide block. We also note that a company called Northway, also a good Yukon explorer group, has moved into this district too. So the competition's heating up in eastern Alaska generally, and the Goodpaster in particular. But we've established a dominant land position here in the Goodpaster, and the land is positioned on some really great geologic targets.
Mr. Beischer, what are the next steps that shareholders should be looking forward to?
Well, the next step for this particular project, Maurice, is accessing more capital. We're willing to put some of our existing funds into the ground to advance the project. But what we envision here is a sustained exploration effort across the entire district over a number of years, developing prospects, moving those prospects forward till they're ready to drill test, and then doing a good drilling program on each one. That's how you find ore bodies. And to do that kind of work, we're going to need some pretty serious capital, multiple millions of dollars over the course of several years. So we're looking for the mid-tier or major mining company or private equity group that shares that vision with us and wants to do serious, systematic exploration over time to maximize the chances of making discoveries.
Mr. Beischer, my favorite question and your favorite question. What did I forget to ask?
Well, you always catch me off guard with this one, Maurice, but I think the answer is we always forget about the price of gold. And so much of the price of gold drives investment in mineral exploration companies. There's other avenues for speculators to invest now and make fast money, cannabis, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and the like. And the general stock markets still are quite buoyant, and so there's not a lot of capital available for explorers. But all it takes is an increase in the price of gold, and suddenly the money comes flooding back in. And I'm anxious for that day to happen. It'll make life easier, and we'll be able to do a lot more great exploration work so that we can make these discoveries.
Now, gentlemen, I know we focused today's efforts on the Goodpaster district, but are there any other activity going on with the Millrock project portfolio?
Indeed, we're working on all our Alaska projects, and you can watch for news coming out of our Mexico projects soon too, Maurice.
Mr. Beischer, before we leave, for someone listening that wants to get more information on Millrock Resources, please share the contact details.
Sure. You can find our website at millrockresources.com. And on that website, you can find the phone numbers and email addresses of anyone you may wish to talk to at our company.
As a reminder, Millrock Resources trades on the TSXV symbol MRO and on the OTCQX symbol MLRKF. Millrock Resources is a sponsor of Proven and Probable, and we are proud shareholders for the virtues conveyed in today's message. And finally, we invite you to visit provenandprobable.com, where we deliver mining insights and bullion sales. Mr. Beischer, Mr. Van Treek, thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.